Hello, welcome back to another CinemaWins reaction video. This time we have now begun the Star Wars sequel trilogy with, of course, Episode 7, The Force Awakens. First of all, this movie is 10 years old now. This year, 2025, we are now officially 10 years away from this movie. Can you believe that? I cannot, because I still remember the hype around this movie. It was insane because it had been 10 years since the last movie, Revenge of the Sith, and like people were craving for more. We were seeing Luke, Han, Leia on the big screen again. We hadn't seen them in 30 years. It was insane, man. Everybody was talking about this movie back then. I don't think I'll ever forget that. Like, the only other time I've seen hype that big is with Infinity War and Endgame. But yeah, it was insane. And I have never seen Star Wars hype like that ever since. Because after that, Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker comes out. Like, Last Jedi had hype, but then after it comes out, but not as big. And the Rise of Skywalker, of course, I feel like there wasn't hype at all, at least from my end. So yeah, it's insane. As for what do I think of the movie, a lot of people will say this is the good Star Wars movie from the sequel trilogy, or if not good, at least all right, which I can certainly understand that. It's a watchable movie, you know. It's enjoyable for what it is, you know. It's a fun movie with cool Star Wars references. Like Rey's a nice enough protagonist until she starts using the Force. And Finn, you know, I love him as a stormtrooper turned resistance fighter. And Kylo Ren was a decently interesting character. And I loved seeing Han Solo again and Chewie and Leia, of course. So it's not a bad movie by any means, but honestly, I think this movie just does a few things here and there that ruin it for me. First of all, just redoing the story of A New Hope. I mean, you've heard that over and over again, but it really does do that. It just the Empire was defeated last time we saw them, and now they just invent a new empire altogether for the good guys to fight, and it's like, okay, that's just lazy, guys. And blowing up the New Republic, and again having Rey just suddenly learn how to use the Force just like that without any training was stupid. And I really don't like the way they killed Han, and I don't like the way they sort of devolved him into just being a smuggler again. And Luke being in this movie was, I don't know, like, I guess I kind of like the framing device of let's go find Luke Skywalker, but I don't know. I feel like if you're going to do that, you should have had Luke be found about halfway through, not at the very, very end. You know, that's just what I think, though. So I'm stalling a bit, but yeah, let's watch CinemaWins' Force Awakens video. It'll be interesting to watch this now because, of course, he made this back when the movie first came out, so before episodes 8 and 9. So he did not know a lot of things. So that's gonna be interesting to see, like, what he was wrong about and what he got right. I'm curious to see. So let's get this over with. Okay, this is different. I'm going to really try to stay objective with this movie and only win things that are true wins. I know it can be annoying to listen to a fanboy rave about Star Wars. I feel called out now. So, everything great about Star Wars. It's Star Wars, you hear the music. It's Force Awakens, the greatest thing to happen in cinema since Citizen Kane. That's an exaggeration. Spoiler, we can do that. But seriously, I like this movie without further meandering. Yeah. Here we go.
Right from the first line of the text crawl, The Force Awakens does away with some of our recent sour memories and gives us the one bit of information we need to take away from it.
That's
Character we care
true.
most about? Check. Air of mystery? Check. Simple enough I don't need to call my accountant for an explanation? Double check.
Yeah, that is like the best first sentence to an opening crawl ever. It like immediately like gets you hooked. Luke Skywalker has vanished. Like this character we've been waiting to see for so long, for 30 years. He's gone. Where is he? Like, wow, what a way to open your movie.
Short, sweet, and to the point. First order, bad. Leia, good. It's perfect.
You mean Leia? I'm really sorry about the glitching there, but yeah, for some reason VLC is like that. Anyway.
And then this opening shot is as iconic as any in the series.
Yeah,
the first
it
Star
is.
Destroyer sliding into frame, eclipsing the light from the planet, while new dark side ominous music plays over top to make sure there's no confusion. There's more going on in this shot than, well, you know. And then the next frame lets us know that JJ's directing. That it will be alright. I can feel him saying, "It's okay. I got this." He does.
Like he did with Star Trek 2.
But JJ, a CG BB-8 would be so much easier. Nah, let's just invent a new robot. Real is better.
Yeah, fair. Oh, Kylo Ren's
I'm not gonna
theme.
say it's better than the Imperial
It's
March,
not.
Darth Vader's theme, but Kylo Ren's music
It
is
is.
excellent.
Yeah, John Williams came back, and oh man, I love this. Like, sequel trilogy, not very good, but oh man, his music is top notch again. Like, Kylo Ren's theme is awesome.
Look how old you've become.
Why is he wearing a mask and distorting his voice? It's just to draw parallels to Darth Vader. Well, friend, as we'll soon learn, he idolizes, maybe even worships his grandfather. So it actually makes perfect sense.
It does, yeah. Whew. That was awesome.
Badass bad guy.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. Baddest badass baddie bad guy move that ever was or ever will be. Saber to dude, force stop to blaster beam while force freezing
Yeah.
Poe all in a matter of seconds. Come
Yeah,
on.
that was
The villain's
really
getting
cool. Sorry, hold on.
The villain force freezing.
Sorry, he did mention Kylo Ren idolizing Vader. I will admit, that is a pretty cool idea. Like, Darth Vader's grandson, like, idolizes Darth Vader and doesn't know that he was Anakin Skywalker at one point. I think that is a pretty interesting idea. I just don't think they execute it incredibly well, but oh well.
That's it.
Poe gets it, yeah.
So who talks first? You talk first? I talk first.
And some great foreshadowing for when these two meet later.
Yep.
Washed away are the clean walls, shiny bright CGI of the prequels. In its place, we get dust particles in the air, hand-stitched goggles, and dirty clothing. Sand sledding. We always knew Star Destroyers were big, but this gives us a scale never seen before.
Yeah, literally. Well, that was really cool.
Instabread. Another remnant of a war that took place long ago. A sneeze and you'll miss a detail that makes Jakku feel so real and old.
Very much, yeah. I did hear, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure in the expanded canon, they say that the last battle the rebels had against the Empire was on Jakku, and then that's when the Empire officially fell. I think so, right?
Classified, really? Me too. Big secret.
Get it? It actually is. People will be speculating until episode 8 drops, and maybe even longer.
Yeah.
Seriously, guys.
Yeah.
She's one of the two main protagonists that was allowed to keep her British accent. Can't we all figure out who her father is? Or maybe it's just because of Unkar plot.
Oh man, the whole Rey parent thing. Remember that? People were speculating that for years. Yeah. Now it's confirmed that she is Palpatine's granddaughter, which sure, whatever. It feels like a retcon, but I mean it is a retcon, but sure, whatever.
Actually, the droids are not for sale.
Saving your new friend.
This is very complicated.
Honesty. Rey must be a Mary Sue, right? Or does it make sense that an orphan girl left to fend for herself on a planet full of mostly male scavengers would have learned to defend herself or be long dead by now?
That is fair. That is fair. She would have learned to defend herself against these guys. It's when she used the Force that I have an issue with.
Star Wars has never really had any trouble when it comes to explosions, but these all just feel so impactful.
They do, yeah.
Oh, the Millennium Falcon once again!
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Sort of!
Oh, I remember
I
this.
don't care if this was filmed specifically for the trailer. It is Star Wars. It's such a perfect clip.
Remember when that was one of the only clips we had in the trailers? Like, man, it was so exciting. Like, especially when you heard that Star Wars bum, bada, bum. Like, that was, oh man, that was so cool.
I can do this. I can do it.
Rey's a Mary Sue, right? Or did her years of being alone scavenging for parts that would earn her food give her a technical and mechanical know-how? And, as will be established throughout,
Fair.
has some serious Force sensitivity. She surprises herself with her capabilities.
I mean,
Later
sure.
She says,
I want some ships, but I've never left the planet.
also, would flying really be that hard? She drives/flies speeders. I mean, it's not a plane. You're not worrying about wind and acceleration or velocity or whatever. Those are plane things, right? It's more like driving a car that happens to move on the y-axis. Can't be that hard.
I mean, I'm not that bothered that she can figure out how to fly the Falcon. Like, sure.
Oh yeah, and this entire spaceship chase fight scene along the desert and into the Star Destroyer is freaking awesome.
It is, yeah. Oh, this is really cool, too.
Come on, this is what action scenes should be. Deliberate, purposeful set pieces, not shaky cam, jump cut madness. So
Yeah.
engaging. Did he just say BB-8? Let's all just take
I heard it now.
a moment of silence for the lack of a Jar Jar Binks in this film. And rejoice that they created this cutesy comic relief character that is BB-8.
Yeah, the BB-8's fine. Like, I have gotten mad twice at Jeremy for saying R2-D2 is better. I don't hate BB-8. He's fine for what he is, but he is no R2-D2.
This is so great. Don't get me wrong. Vader was awesome as the unshakable Dark Apprentice who would have just force-choked this guy to death. But isn't this the perfect reaction from a younger, angrier, dare I say more force-powerful villain?
Yeah.
He may be emo, but I'd love to see you say that to his face.
Anything else?
What girl?
Boyfriend? Cute boyfriend?
Subtlety.
Very much.
freaking Solo and Chew freaking Baka!
Well, remember that? Chewie, we're home. Remember that trailer moment? Like, holy... I just feel... I'm so nostalgic for trailers. Can you believe that? Like, man...
No, it's true. We're the only ones on board.
You can understand that thing?
This is less
Is
a win
he
for
gonna
Force
send you?
Awakens and more a win for Star Wars overall, but I've always loved that certain characters can understand species like Chewie and R2-D2 despite all logic.
Yeah.
And leave it to Finn, to draw attention to.
That was
You're
funny.
Han Solo.
I used to be.
No, you used to be Indy. You used to be Jack Ryan. You will always be Han Solo.
I mean, I've always known him as Han Solo. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I love him as Indiana Jones, too. I mean, I don't know... can you tell me about Jack Ryan, please? I'm sorry. I love Harrison Ford, but I haven't seen everything he does, so whoops.
Wasn't he a war hero?
JJ the benefit of the doubt here that he hasn't seen the raid, so he wouldn't know how underused Eco is here. Still, Eco's a win.
What was the second time?
No disrespect to Harrison Ford, but he's been kind of phoning it in for the last few years. This is the first time that we've seen life come back into his eyes. He actually seems to enjoy being Han. Maybe it's because he knew he could leave it all on the field.
I was gonna say, yeah, because we all know Harrison wanted to die. I guess, yeah, probably that, because he knew he was gonna die in this one.
I got a bad feeling about this.
He said the
No feelings were
thing.
harmed in the filming of this scene. This might be the only imperfect sequence in the whole movie. But in
Yeah,
their defense, every
it's
Star
kinda
Wars film has
pointless.
at least one, sometimes more, big monster creature.
I mean,
Ultimately,
sure.
It plays out like a fun little break from the tension since we know our main players are all pretty clearly safe.
They had me! But the door!
That was lucky.
Humbleness. Snoke's fine. We don't get much of him.
Oh,
But
boy,
I do
Snoke.
like that he holograms himself so imposingly huge instead of just being a rehash of the Emperor.
Remember when people thought he was Darth Plagueis? That was a whole thing. Honestly, I would have preferred that twist over what we eventually learned, that he's a clone of Palpatine or whatever. Like, yeah, it's just kind of like the lesser of two evils. I think him being Darth Plagueis would have been cooler.
Listen, big deal. Women always figure out the truth.
Han always knows what's up.
He does, yeah.
Wouldn't be nice to you. Doesn't pay much.
More honesty. So many practical effects, costumes, and puppets. More work went into this long tracking take Mos Eisley callback than, well, you know. Iconic imagery is iconic. But who is Kylo actually talking to?
Keep it, kid.
Generosity.
Yeah.
This whole vision sequence may not stand on its own for this film more than a question and confusion creator, but it's a promise that this is all thought out ahead of time. And I'm taking that promise to the bank.
Oh, yikes. That did not age well, did it? Like, we all know, now we know this trilogy was essentially just being made up on the fly. There was no plan. Because you can just tell each director wanted to do their own thing with each movie. Because, oh, yeah, that did not age well. Because, yeah, this whole vision we all thought was going to tie in the later movies. They didn't really call back to this vision at all in any way. The only time I could think of that they did was the brief flashback of Rey on the kid Rey on Jakku, and you see that ship flying away, and they later explain in episode 9 that ship belonged to Ochi or whatever. But yeah, Obi-Wan.
I also don't think it's a coincidence that both Obi-Wans had a line in her vision.
Yeah.
But I know the Force. It moves through and surrounds every living thing.
Wait, what? No midichlorians? The Force is no longer quantifiable? It's just there? Yeah. Thanks, JJ. For reals.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about, because he did mention in his Phantom Menace video that he said this about the midichlorians. Huh. Yeah. Kind of weird how... Yeah. Let's not talk about it right now, because this is the movie that doesn't feature them.
And we'll remember this
That's the last day
Domhnall
of the
Gleeson hit this up
Republic.
pretty believably.
Very much, yeah.
See? Ooh, Ooh, Abrams restrained himself so well. Just the slightest hint of a lens flare.
Oh yeah, because he's popular with lens flares. Yeah, I know that.
Man, this is extreme. Alderaan was rough, but we never actually saw any inhabitants. And this is 5 heavily populated planets worth of people being snuffed out.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I really did not like that. The New Republic being killed off just like that. It happens so fast, and it's like, it undoes so much of the original trilogies, what they did. Han, Luke, and Leia had to fight the Empire and restart the Republic. All that is just undone way too fast. And it's like, dang, nice going there, guys. They essentially just killed the New Republic so they didn't have to deal with the politics of what they were doing. And it's like, yeah, is it weird that I want to say I would have preferred this trilogy would have delved more into the politics of the galaxy of what's going on, because that's what the prequels did. And a lot of people didn't like that, but I was like, I mean, it makes sense to deal with the politics. And then the sequel trilogy was just like, no, we're not going to do that because people didn't like it in the prequels. And it's like, nice going there, guys.
Something you may not have noticed, she's not bent over because she's tired from running. Much like her potential father before her, she feels the disturbance in the Force of billions of voices crying out that were then silent.
He keeps hinting at that. Okay, yeah, he keeps hinting that he thinks Rey is Obi-Wan's granddaughter. I remember that was a theory. The people saying Obi-Wan had a girlfriend in the Clone Wars, and maybe Satine had a kid, and that the kid had Rey. That was a whole theory. I remember subscribing to that for a while, but now I realize that would have been a bit too far-fetched, right? Because how would you have explained that? Especially with people who haven't seen Clone Wars. That would have been really difficult to explain, I feel like. So I'm glad they didn't do that. Although Palpatine being a granddaughter isn't any better, but oh well.
Thank goodness for Stormtrooper aim. Badass good guy.
Yep.
I can feel JJ's fear to overuse the lightsaber battles. So our first actual fight with one is one-sided. The anticipation is palpable, even if this should have been fast.
Yeah, fair. Nice going there, Poe.
Yep. Some actual proof to back up Poe being the best pilot in the fleet.
Yep.
Who are we more excited
Yeah, that's one hell of a pilot.
about here? Leia or 3PO? Tough call.
You must be so brave.
Maz is going to have something to say about that.
Yeah.
Ugh, such an effective impact just in the forcefulness by which he puts his helmet down.
My phone just has weird notifications.
And Adam Driver does not disappoint when he comes out from behind the curtain.
He doesn't, yeah. I think Adam Driver is the best new actor in this whole trilogy. Because, I mean, Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford are probably better, but of the new actors, Adam Driver, I think, is the best one.
What a scene. With no other visual cues, you can actually see and feel the Force power.
That was really cool.
Credit to the actors,
Yeah.
credit to the sound design, credit to just everybody. I love you all.
We will remove these restraints.
Oh,
and leave the cell
boy.
with the door open.
This is, yeah. The fact that works,
Restraints and leave the cell with the door open.
like, no.
One more hint to Rey's father, who was the first person to use the Jedi mind trick in a very similar fashion. I also really like that it doesn't work on our first try. I mean, it is 007 after all.
Yeah, I know, that's Daniel Craig under the helmet, but I still don't like that. Like, how does she know what a mind trick is? And even if she has heard of it, how would she know how to use it when she's never even trained as a Jedi before? Like, I just don't like that it works. Like, come on, guys.
And you'll drop your weapon?
And I'll drop my weapon.
I can really hear it now, Daniel Craig under there.
I know I've been praising this movie for everything practical, but goodness is this CGI stuff.
Oh, that is really cool.
Star Killer Base.
So it's big.
Haha, suck it, complainers. Han, here's your quibbling. It's big. Your argument is invalid.
What did he say?
But it was your idea.
Friendship. Female X-Wing pilot is a win.
Yeah.
We're in trouble.
More feminism is nice.
We can't leave. My friend's got a bag full of explosives.
Helping your friends. Let's just talk about the timing of this sun being drained enough to cast darkness across Ren's face so that it's illuminated completely in red, signaling his final push over the edge to the dark side. While I definitely can't win the death of Han Solo, Ford and Driver's performances in this scene are superb.
Yeah, I just,
A father's love.
yeah, just, I don't like the way they killed Han. Like, they had him go back to being a smuggler, and then we learn that he failed his son. He turns to the dark side. We see him try to bring him back, and then he dies doing it because he fails. And it's like, oh my, that's such a lame death for Han friggin' Solo. Like, I get it. Harrison wanted to die. I get that, but you could have given him a more heroic sacrifice, I think, right? Like, come on, I just don't like seeing him go out this way.
Could we ask for a better location for this final showdown? No. The answer is no.
No.
The dusk lighting and the falling snow sizzling against the lightsabers? Well done.
It's a good
Well
location.
done.
Yeah.
And could we ask for a tougher villain? Bro is shot with this gun,
Oh, yeah.
and he's just walking it off while preparing for battle. Finally, a lightsaber duel. And for anyone who whined that Finn shouldn't have been able to hold his own with Ren, he doesn't. Watch the fight. This is Ren owning him. He's just toying with Finn.
Yep.
Maybe a little overconfidently, but it's this easy for Ren to disarm him.
I did see somebody point out that was a callback to Empire, because in Empire you had that moment where Luke is fighting Vader and he hits Vader on the shoulder and you hear Vader like scream, and then he immediately overpowers Luke and cuts his hand off. And something similar happens here. Finn hits Kylo and Kylo's like, you know what, I'm done, and he just disarms Finn just like that because he's that powerful. That actually is a really cool callback that doesn't feel forced. And then there's this.
I've seen this force pull like 7 times now. I still get chills. Pure cinematic perfection.
Like, no, I don't think Rey should be able to do that because she's never force pulled before, but oh well. Ten wins,
100
okay.
times, yes. All the air/space battles are engaging and not too distracting. Don't get me wrong, they're dense, but not so dense my eyes roll back in my head.
I need some help here. I need some help. Coming in.
Awesomely updated trench run.
Yeah,
I
fair.
hate drawing comparisons, but this is one of the best lightsaber duels. And what is ironic is that it had to take a similar amount of choreography as other battles, but it's completely hidden and everything about it feels emotional, raw, and real. Speaking of lightsabers, how evil looking is Ren's compared to the clean,
is,
straight
yeah.
blue beam of Luke's? Clearly
Anakin's.
constructed by him to be menacing. It looks like it might arc out and cut the user at any given moment. It also appears to be longer and handles more like a broadsword, which is appropriate considering the crossguard.
Fair, yeah.
What a great moment for Rey. She finally realizes she hasn't been getting lucky. She can control and use the Force to her advantage. And now it suddenly matters that Ren is injured since his opponent is more capable. And a true villain was born.
Okay, like Rey being able to overpower Kylo is another thing where I'm like, no, why? Why would you have Rey overpower him like that when she has literally never held a lightsaber before and she's able to overpower Kylo Ren, who's trained to use a lightsaber for decades? Like, come on. I just don't think that's realistic. And it's like, I don't like using the term Mary Sue that often, but that definitely felt like it because the way they were like, no, let's make Rey all powerful because she's the main character, and it's like, no, you gotta develop that first, guys.
Unless your name is Tyrion, then you become a hero.
Got a heartbeat.
Finn's alive.
R2, why were you powered?
R2 is
Why were you powered off the whole movie? Like, R2 is the GOAT, guys.
Alive.
Put some respect on R2D2's name.
May the force be with you.
Oh, it is. Hey, it's Luke.
It is, yep.
As you've no doubt realized by now, my disclaimer at the beginning ended up being a little more ironic than intended since I went full fan.
I can tell.
But guess what? It's my channel and this movie is fantastic. It hit every note it needed to and didn't front or end load the pacing. We got just enough lightsaber dueling to satisfy our 10-year itch while still leaving us yearning for more and not too much that our eyes glazed over like looking at a magic eye picture. Each new
okay.
character was introduced masterfully and all of our favorites were back, even if we didn't get to hear all of them speak. But the ones who did stirred nostalgia that brought me right back to my first viewing of A New Hope, but still knocked my socks off like any modern movie with epic spaceship chases, battles, and jumps to lightspeed. Blaster skirmishes on the ground have never felt more intentional and well thought out. For that matter, every shot feels deliberate, right down to this simple pan when Rey puts her staff away. The main story arc was reminiscent of the past, but still held plenty of new and exciting things, and the sorrow and tragedy that has always been a part of these space operas was as moving, if not more meaningful than ever.
That's not how the Force works.
That might be my favorite line in the whole movie.
Han Solo, you will be missed. I can't think of a better send-off to one of the galaxy's most beloved smugglers, rebellion generals, and guy who unequivocally shot first.
Oh, I can.
He chose to save the day again by planting the explosives which directly led to his death. and his final confrontation with his son brought even the hardest of hardened men to tears. Kylo Ren rivals Vader as a threat, but gave the Sith an emotional depth not too often seen from the dark side. Abrams learned from past entries' mistakes and thankfully let Ren live on as an overarching villain. Or maybe something more? Speaking of the dark side, Finn is not only a perfect addition to our new story, but his character opens up a whole new world only considered by people reciting Kevin Smith dialogue. The stormtroopers are people? And even worse, they're actually brainwashed kids like the Hitler Youth? Yikes. Through Finn, we get to see the free will they may all possess if they're lucky enough to get a bloody hand wiped across their HUD. His meet cutes with both Poe and Rey push our stories together and forward smoothly at the same time. I'm exceedingly happy with Oscar Isaac as our new dashing pilot. He's a great example of an actor that is so excited to be part of the Star Wars universe. He really enjoys himself. Which brings me to Rey. Ah, Rey. Accused of being this far away galaxy's Mary Sue.
Which I would say she is once she starts using the Force.
I like to think we've established all of her abilities are either easily explained by her upbringing, or she's genuinely surprised by what she's capable of doing and she can thank the Force. Is she just a female Luke? Well, let's examine that.
Okay.
Luke grew up on a farm with his aunt and uncle and had at least a few friends we know of. So, no, she's not. Her formative years couldn't have been more different. Her family left her at a very young age on a desert planet to fend for herself.
Fair.
She learned to scavenge on her own and adapted to her life as a loner. She may be wish fulfillment from our filmmakers, but not because she's invincible. It's because she has that starry-eyed look about her. She whines considerably less than our previous male protagonist, and she's a hero who deserves her success. I wouldn't change a thing about Rey, and I'm excited to see Daisy Ridley grow in the character she's created and excel in the Force.
She showed trained, though.
So, who needs a shot of insulin after all that positivity? I'm not saying this movie is perfect. By no means. But it's the Star Wars movie we all asked for. From the lack of anything or anyone resembling a Gungan with a speech impediment to the grimy, realistic, practical effects that we loved about the originals. I just get the feeling that everyone involved cares deeply for this world. And that's that.
Yeah, sure.
I will say that I'm a little sad to know that JJ won't be returning, but we're getting the director of Looper
He did come back for episode 9, so...
and some of the best Breaking Bad episodes. So throw some time travel and blue meth into episode 8. See if I care. But seriously, if Snoke isn't secretly Bryan Cranston behind some hologram trickery, I'll be really disappointed. Because clearly Snoke isn't in the overthrowing Republic's business. He's in the Empire business.
I don't know if I get that. Win score 145. Award Han Solo's confidence.
Okay, how do we blow it up? There's always a way to do that.
Right. In order for that.
Yeah. And I think that's all for now. Look, I'm wondering if I'm being a little too negative. I'm looking back on. I feel like I'm being too negative because it's not terrible. Please, I don't think this is a bad movie. It's fine, but I just have some issues with it that I have. Yeah. I'm gonna be a lot more negative with the next two movies though, because oh boy, do I have some thoughts on those. But yeah, as of right now, Force Awakens is a fine movie, and I appreciate a lot of things Lee points out, but I also disagree with some of the things he says. So, that is part of why I wanted to do these videos, these CinemaWins videos, because there are definitely some things I disagree with him, but I really enjoy his videos overall because I just like the positivity. Like, I do find myself feeling bad that I'm criticizing him, honestly, because he is trying to be so positive. So it's hard, but at the same time, it needs to be done. I don't know. Yeah, that'll be all for now. Thank you for watching. Peace.